once again, this door's being finicky. Come on, door. You've been good with me for like the past 5 episodes. Thank you. Anyways, good morning everyone. Hope everyone's having a good week. Let's get our chickens all nice and cleaned up here. We do have this pile of wood chips that we'll have to do something with. How are our chickens doing for feed? Oh, full. Not bad. Can't complain there. Alright, another half full egg box to put in there. Perfect. So what we're going to do today is we're going to seed this field with a crop that hasn't been determined yet, but I'm thinking either canola or soybeans. And then afterwards, once we're done that, we'll find something to do. It's going to be an eventful day, hopefully. Grab our Massey Ferguson here. Get our seeder out. Still set on rye from doing the plot over at the school. I haven't heard from the school yet to see if they want us to do it again. That's probably not going to be a reoccurring thing like all the time, but we shall see. You know what, I think I'm actually going to use the 398 for this, just because now that the field's a little bit bigger and I might want to use GPS for the long rows. Sorry, little Massey. You're a good tractor, just a little bit too old for daily use. Not sure what I'm going to do with you. But you definitely have a use on the farm. But this is definitely our workhorse, the 398. It's a great tractor. Highly recommend it to anyone in the small tractor market. Only has 80 horsepower, but it pulled that chisel plow that needs 130 like a champ. Didn't bat an eye. I was very impressed by it. Okay, so let's do canola. I know the field needs lime. I don't think I even would have enough to buy something that would allow me to spread lime and buy an actual lime pallet. But let me check. I'll be right back. So just as I was saying, I wasn't going to be using the little 135 here. As you can see, we are broke. We got enough money to take our wife out for dinner and buy her a box of chocolates and maybe some flowers, and that's about it. We have made an investment in a lime spreader and a pallet full of lime. Hopefully the shop's equipment is big enough to pick up the pallet, because we are literally just going to dump it off onto the floor when we get back to the farm. I have the strangest feeling that it's going to come off the pallet and into the trailer if I don't take the sides off of it. So I'm just going to take the sides off of it here. Hopefully the shop doesn't charge me anything for that. No, they don't. Sweet. Just to keep it on the flatbed. Don't have to worry about it then. This is the first time we get to use the shop's front loader over here. This nice little Claas Tron 639. Oh yeah, that sounds alright. They obviously don't use it too much. Most of the other farms around here are fairly established. Yeah, they are small, but they don't normally have to buy too many big things here at the store. Normally when the store gets a order in bulk, they do a delivery and it doesn't actually come through the doors here at the dealership. Okay, moment of truth. Will this pick it up? I know these pallets are heavy. Oh, hello. Getting some tire slip going backwards, but it picked it up. Let's try to get most of the weight on the back axle of the trailer itself. You gonna let go for me here? No, let go. No. Why aren't you letting go? How hard do I have to press down? Fairly hard, I guess. Let's just get you a little more straightened out there. Perfect. Wonder if I can grab this with the forks too. Like straddle it or something. Yes, I can. Look at that. Look at me being all professional and stuff. Look at me go. Okay, now get off. Uh-oh, I broke it. Please send help, I broke it. Well, this is a predicament. You guys didn't see any of that, did you? I hope not. So that's not strapping down, which I didn't expect it to anyway, so we'll just have to drive back nice and carefully. I remember by looking at the map, our whole field actually needs lime. This is a pretty heavy load for this little Massey, so it's going to take us a hot minute to get back to the farm, but we'll get there eventually. We're not popping a wheelie, so that's good. A little slow going up the hill, to be expected. I think that we are actually going to do the lime spreading with the 135 here. It's got a 7-meter working width, so that's not too bad. I think I might actually just leave the pallet of lime on the trailer for right now too. Come on, get up into the yard. There we go. Good job. Look at you go, little Massey. Proud of you. Alright, let's drop the trailer off there. Can we grab it from up here? I think if we do, it'll lift our back tires off the ground. Yep. Locking of the hubs does nothing. There. It's like nothing ever happened. Alright. Are you not going to allow me to fill from the trailer? This thing does take lime, right? It should do. Could have swore it said lime on the brochure. It doesn't. Oh my god. What have I done? Oh no. So the dealership in all their wisdom selling me the second piece of kit that doesn't work for the use I intended it to. Have given me a good deal on this, which is kind of like the size up of what I originally bought. They gave it to me for pretty much the same price. I think it was around the same price. Hopefully this one will work a bit better. It's already working better since it's taking the lime. So we will get into this, start spreading lime. It has about the same working width, so we're not really down at all on that. Okay. Well, let's see how this works. I am hoping that we have enough lime to do everything. Let me just double check to see that our field actually needs lime. So the center part does not, but I want to cover it anyways, just so we're liming everything all at the same time. Not bad working with. Can't really complain. Especially to use this small of a tractor on it. Should be pretty good. Alright, I'll put this in a bit of a time lapse. Just because it'll get a little bit monotonous. Just driving around spreading lime. You guys get the idea. I'll see you guys in a bit. That went pretty good. Can't complain. This is apparently less fertilized than that, but all in all, this field should turn out pretty good. It's most of it is fully fertilized. Some of it isn't quite fertilized, but at least with the lime, it's one less thing that we have to worry about deducting from our yields. I have decided to put canola in the ground for our first ever real crop. So that's exciting, I guess. Obviously, yeah, it's exciting. Our first ever crop's going in the ground. This is a beautiful moment right here. We are sowing our own fields, literally. This might take us a little while yet, but it should be pretty good. We just get a couple passes done around these hay bales. Make sure that we're not going to run into it. Like that. Come back down on this side. Do a couple passes along the shop and shed side down here. Then we'll set up a GPS course. Hammer out this back section. And then do the whole front yard manually by hand, I think, just because it's not really worth trying to get a GPS course set up for long rows going in the direction we are now, north and south, when everything else is east and west. Also, I forgot when I was running the plow with this tractor, that chisel plow over there in the previous episode, I never did repair it. So this Massey might actually even run it better than what I was thinking. So my praises about this tractor, double it, if not triple it. Because I was pulling it, damaged implement, going that speed. That's really good. I can't expect anything more from this tractor. It has exceeded my expectations every way. The real dirt color mod, I think it is. Real dirt texture. Yeah, the real dirt mod. Beautiful. Love it. The real mud mod, never gotten into it, never really tried it. I've seen a couple of people who really like it, and I've also seen a couple of people who really dislike it. Let me know pros and cons to the real mud mod down below if you guys want to see it added into this series. I've never used it, but I am more than willing to try it out here for you guys. So just let me know in the comments below, and while you're down there typing away on your keyboard in the comments, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let me know that you like what I'm doing, and also so that you can keep up to date with all the content that I am producing and putting out there for you. Free of charge, by the way. It's all free. The subscription, me playing the game, editing the videos, putting it out there, it's all for you to enjoy for free. All I ask is a subscription, maybe a like. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you don't like the video, there's a button there for that too. Okay, let's set up our GPS route. I want to get over just a little bit further. Once again, I like using GPS on this tractor. It makes everything a little bit simpler. I'll give you a quick rundown on how to use it. Default controls, I'm also using a controller. Alt-C turns GPS on and off. As you can see, the satellite there's turning green. Alt and E sets it up. Alt and E again. You see that little A get put down there at the bottom of the tractor? That sets your A point. And then you want to drive ahead far enough, because if you do it again now, it'll bring that up, drive at least 15 meters to set point B. You'll also see where that steering wheel is. That's your degree mark. So while you're doing this, you want to stay as close to that 180 degree or whatever degree you want to be driving in at. So now I've just hit Alt and E again. I am now set up. I have a custom control binding for my controller, which is L1 in the touchpad to turn it on. I can't remember the touchpad to actually turn it on the keyboard, but you can open up the actual GPS menu by clicking left Control S. That brings you this menu. This menu here, you have your auto width. Every implement just automatically comes in at 30. You can click auto width, and it will not then determine the width of your implement. Sometimes I hit it a couple times just to make sure. This is where you set your offset. This might look confusing. The plus button means you make it wider. Minus button makes it smaller. This is the reset undo button. So you click auto width again. So if you've got one of those implements that isn't coming up quite right, and you are at 0 feet and you want to get to 10 feet, let's say, and you're going like this, I'm like, wow, that's going to take a long time. That's what this is for. So if I click over to this one, that's the highest one you can go. That controls how big of an interval you jump. See, now we went from 0.16 feet to 3 feet and 44 inches, I guess. No, 44 inches, no. 3.44 feet. Hit it again, 6 feet. Hit it again, 10. Boom. Now if I want to adjust that even finer, I can go back down to the 0.032, and then I can click plus, and it goes up by 0.3 feet each time. So you can't get quite right on 10 feet, but you can get pretty close. That's if your auto width doesn't work. The same thing works with your offset down here. I don't use any of this. You can turn your lines on and off over here. You can also turn your guidance steering on here as well. I never really use this page. This is where you would save all your tracks. I just create a new one every time. So you can do either or. So my line should be on here now, and you should be able to see the lines that I'm on. So the green means that that's the center of the tractor, and the orange lines on either side means that's the width of the implement. So you can use these guidance lines to help figure it out. If your implement isn't registering with the auto width. Happens from time to time, not super common. Once you get into like a lot of third-party mods from different sites, something like that could happen. You'd also hear that audible beep when you get close to the end of your row. So now to get off of it, just push and hold the steering wheel. You hear that? The line goes white. And now every row you go through, you'll see the lines move on the ground to which row you'd be on. You'd also see that number, the 3 lines at the top above the satellite on the right hand side of the screen. We're now at -6. Now we're at -7. That's your row count. So it always goes wherever you set it up. So now here we're on row 0. If we go to the right, we'll be on row 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. So that can also give you a better representation of your progress on how you're making out. It'll keep it pretty much dead on center for you, so you don't have to worry too much about anything once you've got your GPS set up. I know a couple of people have had issues with using GPS before. It's a very simple tool. I disregarded it for a long time when I switched from console to PC, just because I was like, well, I've done it myself for so long at console, why do I still want to do it myself? I've got Courseplay and I've got Auto Drive and I've got all these other cool new mods, but GPS really does help bring a lot of life to the game and real world aspect. One thing to note, if I'm back here and this is the line that I'm going to be set up on to go, and I'm like half sideways, if I hit to start, it might try to take me back the other way, but also by the time I get down, I'm no longer on that row I was originally set up on or lined up on, because it couldn't make that corner, so it put me in the next row over. Normally that's not a big deal for a lot of people. It works out fine for me. It's just something to be careful about in an aspect where our furthest row to the left here is in another field, so that's something to be mindful about. Another thing to note about GPS is if you're using an articulated tractor, sometimes they will get the wiggy wobbles back and forth, won't get perfectly straight. So that's something to watch out for once you get into like the bigger equipment, bigger machines like that. Also, another thing regarding the articulated tractors, if you ever try to fast farm, the DJ Go Ham fast farming methods, once you get over speed with them, they also don't like to stay straight when towing implements like a plow or a planter or whatever the case may be. So that's something else you'd have to watch. I normally found out when fast farming, because I've tried it before, under GPS you got to stay around the 20 mile per hour mark. Can't go any faster than 20 miles per hour before you start getting the zigzags, and the GPS can't keep you straight. So you see how we came in on an angle there on the GPS. The tractor hasn't gotten straight yet. Now we are straight. So GPS is a wonderful thing. It can't teleport your tractor. It's still limited to the steering capabilities of the tractor that you're in. So that's something that you'll just have to keep in the back of your mind. An easy way to prevent that from missing little bits, like the little triangles, skip a row, come out a little bit further, try to come in a little straighter, or just take your time. Pull up a bit, back up a bit, make sure your wheels are straight on your tractor, like the mod itself isn't trying to turn your tractor in any other way, that you're already straight up on your row. I personally don't like seeing the lines, so if you don't want the lines, you just click left Control S, you come back over to here, show lines on and off. It is a good tool for setting things up, so if I do have show lines on and I turn my width up to like 23 feet and I back out, now you can see the orange lines are way out here instead of being right next to the implement. That's another thing you gotta worry about, is the offset. So if you have your offset set to something that's not perfectly right, sorry, excuse me, it might not be a big deal when you first start out, but once you get onto your 10th row or your 15th row, that offset that was improperly set by 1 foot accumulates every row that you have, right? So being off by 1 foot or half a foot even on your first row, on your 15th row, if you're off by a foot, now you're off by 15 feet. So that's something just to keep in mind. But GPS is a great mod. I highly recommend it for any PC player, regardless if you only use course play, you only use auto drive, you do the real farm manager route, you don't want to drive a tractor yourself. I get that. Been there, done playthroughs like that. You get some fields where course play just doesn't work. You can't get it to work, you can't get it to set up right. At least with GPS, you have a tool to make it a little bit easier. I find GPS in the Advanced Harvester mod, I think it's called. The mod where it makes it so when you're driving on cruise control, you can't run over your crop when your hopper tank gets full. Those two mods are on the Farm Sim Guys multiplayer server. Beautiful. Never knew about that Harvester mod until I played on that multiplayer server. It's absolutely beautiful. You're set up on your GPS, you got your cruise control going, you're harvesting, and you're like, oh, I need to refill my water. I'm out of water. So you quickly jump up and you go to the kitchen or whatever you fill your water up at, the cooler. You fill up your water. By the time you get back, your hopper's full, but your combine stops. So instead of just running through and eating away at a couple $1,000s worth of your crop, it stopped you as long as you aren't on an aggressive hill. And you might have lost, I don't know, $50, $100 worth of crop. And it saves you from driving into the hedgerow at the end of the field. Beautiful mod. Highly recommend that one. I'll search in my mod hub and I will see if I can get the actual name of that mod put onto the screen now for you. Just do that little beacon light there to remind me to do something during editing, in case I don't want to listen to myself talk over and over again. But yeah, two mods work great hand in hand. Highly recommend them. I have them both on this game save because I haven't set up PV tools or anything yet. I would really like to get into PV tools. I have to rewatch the Farm Sim Guys video on PV tools. PV tools, in case you don't already know, it's a application that separates all your mods. So you can have, on PC, I think you can have 20 game saves. So with PV tools, you can set up so every game save has its own set list of mods, which includes the map. So you launch up PV tools before you launch up FS19 or FS22, whenever you're watching this. And yeah, so you launch up that, you select, okay, I want to play my small farm series today. So you click that one, and then it loads that folder with all your small farm mods that you've already have pre-selected and the map that it's on. And when you jump into FS19, it only shows up those mods that were in that folder that PV Tools selected. No other mods that you may have downloaded on your PC show up. So all your other game saves will show up with a question mark because that map isn't actually downloaded. FarmSim can't recognize it. The path isn't there for it to go into your documents. PV Tools has locked that path to all your other maps. I'm probably doing a horrible explanation of it, but it's a great piece of kit. I'm not British, but I guess I watch too many British YouTubers. But yeah, highly recommend that, even though I'm not using it yet. I should take my own advice, I know. But it's definitely something I'm looking into for the future. I already have a buttload of mods. When I switched from console to PC, I was like, oh, mods everywhere, and I downloaded everything. Everything I thought was cool and unique, I downloaded. Could be good, could be bad. I've probably got some mod conflicts going on in my mods folder. I know I do because I get occasional when you're trying to purchase something in store, the picture doesn't come up. I'm getting pretty good frame rates still, so it's nothing too overly drastic of problems, but I know there is some there. So I will have to look into PV Tools and purge my mod list eventually. The biggest downfall to it is literally once you get PV Tools is to go through all your mods and select what mods you want on each save. You might want to go into each map before you download PV Tools and get that all set up and write down what equipment you have purchased on each save. So when you put those mods into PV Tools, you're not skipping over something and now you don't have your semi-truck that you had because you forgot to put it in PV Tools. So then you would have to reimburse yourself the money, go back out, add it, come back in, purchase it again, all that stuff. Not that big of a deal for the benefits you get for having PV Tools in the long run, but it's just that initial startup kick in the butt, let's do this, is a little challenging. Okay. I've rambled on a lot. I'm not sure if you guys have turned away or not because of my ramblings. I hope you haven't. But I do like to talk normally. I think that's this field done. Our first crop is fully in the ground. Pretty well fully fertilized for the most part. Growing. Canola. Awesome. That's good to hear. Good to see, good to hear. Good progress. We got ourselves a combine. We've got our field fully sown with canola. Got lime spreading on it. A mishap with the lime spreader. I had to go and get that returned, get a new one. See if I can get this backed in onto the wall over here without screwing everything up. Looks like a good spot as any. It's been a good day so far. Okay, well, I think this is going to be a bit shorter of an episode. I think it's going to be shorter. I can't quite tell. I've recorded this in a couple sections now at this point. But this recording itself is over 30 minutes long, so if this one's over 30 minutes, the other ones are probably a little lengthy too. Won't be too long till we'll be able to sell our eggs for the first time, which will be nice. I'm just going to put away this fertilizer spreader. Probably do something with that pallet. We'll probably get the front loader hooked up off camera and get it moved. We'll probably want to keep that one outside. We'll probably be using the lime a little bit more than the chicken food here. And yeah, it's been a good day. So I do thank you all for watching. Please feel free to once again leave a comment, leave me some feedback how I'm doing. I know I really shouldn't be washing this indoors, especially next to my chicken food, but it's dirty and I want to clean it. So thanks for watching, everyone. Greatly appreciate all the feedback and the viewers and the subscribers. I'm up to 10 now at the time of recording, so that's awesome. Thank you all very much. Hope you all have a great day, great week. This should be coming out Wednesday or Thursday, I hope. So once again, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.